Before they killed him, they broke him. Beaten, humiliated, paraded in front of cameras. So the world could watch. But that wasn't enough, because his real crime wasn't violence, it was a speech. One speech, given in front of a king, that exposed an empire and triggered a global manhunt. Within weeks, Belgium, America, and Britain were all planning his death. Not a rebel, not a warlord, a democratically elected prime minister. This is the story of Patrice Lumumba, the man they erased, and the country that never recovered. But here's what history doesn't tell you. His death was only the beginning. To understand why they killed him, you need to understand what Congo was. Not just a country, a prize. The richest piece of land on Earth. Cobalt, copper, diamonds, gold, uranium, coltan. Inside almost every smartphone today, even the uranium used in the atomic bombs, came from Congo. Today, its mineral wealth is estimated at over $24 trillion. Let that sink in. One country, worth nearly the entire economy of the United States. And for decades, it wasn't owned by its people. It was owned by one man, Leopold II of Belgium. What he built wasn't a colony. It was a system of terror, rubber quotas. Miss them? Your hand was cut off, not as punishment, as proof. Villages burned, children mutilated, women taken hostage. Between 1885 and 1908, up to 10 million Congolese died, half the population, erased in just 23 years. Those stories didn't disappear. They lived on, in whispers, in memory, in anger, and one boy never forgot them. He wasn't born powerful, just a boy in a small village, reading, learning, watching. He taught himself languages, moved to the city, worked as a postal clerk, but his real weapon was his mind. He wrote, spoke, questioned everything. Why are we ruled by outsiders? Why are we not free? In 1958, he attended a conference in Accra, met African leaders, revolutionaries, visionaries, and something changed. He came back different, focused, dangerous. He founded a political movement, not tribal, not regional, national, and in a country divided by hundreds of identities. That was revolutionary. Within 2 years, he went from unknown to prime minister. But that rise came with a cost. June 30th, 1960, Independence Day. The world was watching. The ceremony was controlled, safe. Then the Belgian king stood up and praised Leopold II of Belgium, the man who destroyed Congo. He called him a civilizer. The room froze. Then Lumumba stood up, uninvited, unplanned, and said what no one expected. He spoke of forced labor, of beatings, of humiliation, of a system built on exploitation. And suddenly, the truth was no longer hidden. The crowd erupted. The king sat silent. And in Western capitals, phones started ringing, because that speech changed everything. He had been in power for just 11 days, when everything began to collapse. The army mutinied. Belgium sent troops back in. Katanga, the richest region, declared independence. Backed by foreign mining interests, Lumumba asked the United Nations for help. They stalled. He turned to America. They refused. So he made one decision. One move. That sealed his fate. He accepted help from the Soviet Union, and just like that, he became a target, not for what he had done, but for what he represented. An Africa that controlled its own wealth. That idea was unacceptable. Then came the betrayal. A young officer, Joseph Mobutu, someone he trusted, someone he promoted, turned on him. Backed by foreign powers, funded, supported, protected. Lumumba was arrested, confined, watched, not by enemies, but by forces that claimed neutrality. He tried to escape, tried to reach his supporters, but he was captured, beaten, dragged, displayed. The world saw it and did nothing. January 17th, 1961. Night, remote location. 3 men, 3 trees, shots fired. He was 35, in power, for just 67 days. But even death wasn't enough. They didn't just kill him, they erased him. His body cut apart, dissolved in acid, burned, destroyed, almost nothing left behind, except one thing, a single tooth, kept as a trophy, as if he had never existed. But truth doesn't disappear. Years later, confessions surfaced, documents were released. The world learned what had been done. In 2022, that tooth was finally returned, and a nation mourned. Because what they killed wasn't just a man, it was a future. He wasn't a soldier, he didn't carry weapons, he carried words. And those words terrified empires. Because he believed something dangerous, that Africa could stand on its own, that it didn't need permission.
Follow for more African history.